Hey guys, how's it going? It's Josh here with Buckeye Bowhunter, and today I want to talk about probably the most important thing there is to do when it comes to archery hunting, and that's practicing shooting your bow. I think it's one of the most overlooked aspects of hunting is becoming comfortable with your bow and understanding your limitations and what shots you're willing to and willing not to take. And that all happens in the summertime before deer season starts. A lot of times once deer season starts, everybody their bow goes into the case and only comes out when you're going hunting and it gets put right back in. I encourage people to keep shooting throughout archery season. I like to carry a small target in the bed of my truck. I'll take a shot or two every single time right before I go out into the woods just to make sure my bow's still shooting right, make sure my form's good, and make sure, build that confidence. And that's kind of what this video is going to be all about today, is building up that confidence for going into the woods to do what we're all trying to do, and that's actually kill a deer. So the number one thing I want to talk about is practice shooting at an actual deer target. I think it's so important to, get your bow sighted in, use a block target, so you're not losing arrows and stuff. But once your bow's sighted in, to me, a block target is worthless. I put that away and I'm shooting at a deer target for the rest of the season, because that's gonna most closely replicate what you're actually trying to do out there. I can shoot it at all different angles, quartering to, quartering away, give yourself a way better idea of shot placement and how you should be shooting at deer, which a block does not give to you. So I think that's a super important thing to definitely be doing in the off season. The second thing I want to talk about is shooting from all different positions. I think people get too comfortable just standing on 2 feet in their backyard with good form and shooting at their block target in the backyard. I think, it's good to do that and, make sure you keep in good form and make sure you're doing things right. But it also is important to shoot from all different angles, everything from your knees to sitting on your butt to sitting in a tree stand and bending at weird angles in a tree stand and taking shots like straight down and all different kinds of things, because that's what actually happens in the real world. When a shot opportunity presents itself, it's barely ever you standing flat-footed with perfect form and the deer just standing there, right? It's always something goofy, shooting through brush, shooting around a tree, shooting the deer is 3 feet from the base of your tree and you have to shoot straight down. It's always something like that. So practice those shots. If you're hunting out of a tree stand most of the time, practice shooting out of a tree stand. Practice shooting from different heights. If you hunt out of 3 sticks or 4 sticks sometimes, try those different heights. If you hunt out of a saddle most of the time, try shooting out of a saddle. Practice shooting out of a saddle. If you're hunting out of a ground blind, do that. Practice what you're gonna do in the field, because it's only gonna give you more confidence when the shot opportunity actually presents itself. I think it's so important to build that confidence and to keep that confidence throughout the season. Take it from me, because I've definitely been guilty of it. Don't get lazy. When you're out practicing in the backyard, try some different things. Hang your tree stand, set up your ground blind. Just do it. It's gonna help you out, I promise. So the next thing I want to talk about is definitely a confidence builder, and that's shooting from long range while you're practicing. Now, most of my shot opportunities that I've ever had in my deer hunting career are under 20-25 yards. It's just hunting in northeastern Ohio, those 30+ yard shot opportunities, unless you're hunting a field edge, just don't really present themselves very often. But it can definitely help you in the summer to practice shooting 50, 60, even 70 yards if you have the range to do it, because when you come back into 20 or 30 yards, it's just gonna seem that much easier. Trust me, it's gonna help. It's gonna make those shorter yardages seem like a chip shot, seem like cakewalk. So I'll shoot 60, 70 yards all the time, and all that does is just build your confidence. 30-yard shot doesn't seem that bad anymore. By shooting 60, by shooting 50, that's gonna give you that confidence that you're gonna be efficient and that you're gonna make a good shot at 30, 40 yards even, if you can get those shot opportunities. And then 20 yards and 15 yards, which is where most of them are gonna be like a no-brainer. All right, guys, so the last thing I wanna talk about is the type of release you're using for practicing. And I will say, most people are using one of these. I use this too. During hunting season, I use a trigger release with a strap around your wrist. Fantastic, nothing wrong with it. practice with this all summer. Great piece of equipment. But if you're like me, and as coming from somebody who has had, struggled with target panic their entire lives, I recommend that you get one of these. And this is a back tension release. This has helped me with target panic so much over the last few years. It's gonna make you a better archer for sure. It doesn't matter what level of archery you are, if you're a beginner or you've been doing it for 10 years or 20 years, whatever. If you've never shot one of these, pick one up. I kind of use it like as a supplemental piece, okay? So my bow is sighted in with my trigger release with, the wrist strap. I'll use this back tension release as kind of a supplemental piece for my practicing. And how it works is kind of interesting. There's two pieces of metal in here. Sorry if it's hard to see. One's a half moon shape and the other has like a flat side to it that runs along the circular part of this half moon. And that's the part that grips onto the string of the bow, right? And when you rotate this whole piece, what happens is once this flat part hits the flat part on the flat moon, if that makes sense, that'll release your string. And so what this does for you is it's kind of a surprise release. It's really hard to judge and determine exactly when your bow's gonna go off, so you can't point and shoot, I guess. And for a lot of years, that's what I got away with my target panic was, I'd draw back and I'd be floating over the target, and as soon as I saw the pin kind of cross over that spot, boom, I would just hit the trigger real quick. And I killed a lot of deer doing that, and I was efficient enough, but I was never a really great archer, and I'm still not, but I feel like I'm a lot better and I'm a lot more confident than I ever was. And what this back tension release does for you, and did for me, is force me to keep that pin on the target at the spot that I want to shoot. It made me like, okay, I can't float and just pull this trigger because I don't know when this is going to go off. And so what happens is when you're at full draw, you get at full draw, and then what you're supposed to do, even when you're shooting a trigger release, is kind of pull the bow apart, right? And as you pull the bow apart, your shoulder blades are going to start coming closer together and pinching together. Well, when you do that, naturally, this is going to roll back and it's just going to go off. And that, like I said, that surprise, you don't know when this is going to go off, so it's just going to force you to just be that much better of an archer in the long run. At first, it's going to be really goofy. I know guys who hunt deer with these and kill deer with these all the time. So you can definitely get super efficient with this. But for me, like I said, I use it as like a supplemental piece. I'll take 2 or 3 shots with it every practice session just to kind of get myself in that mindset before I shoot with my other release. But yeah, it's a really cool piece of equipment. I definitely recommend you guys picking it up. They're not really expensive. I can put a link below. This is just a True Ball BT Gold Ultra 2. It's very old, so they might not even sell these ones anymore, but I'm sure I can find a model that's super comparable to put up there. But definitely recommend this for you guys who have target panic, because I've had it for years, helped me out a ton. Give it a try. But with that said, like I said, this is going to be a really short video. I really appreciate you guys showing up and watching. Thank you so much. If this helped you out at all, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Hit the like button down below if you like this, and please leave a comment. Let me know what you guys do differently shooting your bow in the summer, and maybe I can incorporate some of that in my practice sessions. So thank you very much again, appreciate it, and we'll see you guys on the next one.